Welcome again to the continuation of the topic integration. We want to see how to integrate Cosecx dx. Now, from trigonometry, it is noted that Cosecx is equal to 1 over sine x. Okay? So we now say that this means that they say integrate 1 over sine x dx. Now, that means that we now say use sine x to multiply up and down. We now say that means 1 over sine x times sine x all over sine x. That will be giving us integrate sine x all over integrate sine x all over sine squared x dx. So what we will do now is that we say what is the equivalent of sine squared x? From trigonometry we have that sine squared x equal to 1 minus cos squared x. So what do we now do? We now say that means I will remove sine squared x and say this means sine x all over 1 minus cos squared x dx. Now I ask myself, do I have any trigonometrical ratio that when I differentiate it and invert it, can cancel the other one? Yes, when you differentiate cos x, you have minus sine x. So when you invert it, it can cancel sine x. When I say let u equal to cos x, that implies that the u dx will be giving us minus sine x. Then minus sine x. Then you say make the x subject to formula because you have the x here. You have the x equal to minus the u all over sine x. Okay? Then use it and trace. You say what you have at the end is integrate sine x all over 1 minus what is my cos u squared. Then what is my dx? I will say dx is minus the u all over sine x. This will cancel this. That will be giving me minus integration of 1 over 1 minus u squared 1 minus u squared du. Then you know that it has minus. Now since 1 over 1 minus u squared is equal to 1 over 1 square minus, let's write it well. 1 over 1 minus u square equal to 1 over 1 square minus u square. This is difference of 2 square and is equal to 1 over 1 plus u, then plus and equal to 1 over 1 plus u bracket 1 minus u, because this times this will give you this. Then this you see here is the same thing as you writing 1 over 2 bracket 1 plus u plus 1 over 2 bracket 1 minus u. That is because if you look LCM of this and sort it out, it will still give you 1 over this, or 1 over u, or 1 over 1 minus u squared. So because of this, when I say that what we have will be that this is equal to minus integration 1 over 2 bracket 1 plus u plus 1 over 2 bracket 1 minus u. du. Okay, so what do we do now? Remember, if that's 1 over 2, 1 over 2, we will bring our 1 over 2 out, minus 1 over 2 integration 1 over 1 plus u plus 1 over 1 minus u. Okay? Then you now ask yourself, this means minus 1 over 2. Use integral sign to multiply the two. Integration 1 over 1 plus u plus integrate 1 over 1 minus u. Okay? So, plus u du plus integral 1 over 1 plus 1 minus u du. Okay? So, since integrate 1 over x means ln x. Okay? So that means integrate 1 over 1 plus u du. That will be giving us 1 over 2 ln 1 plus u plus ln 1 minus u, because we are integrating with respect to du. So, what do we do? Because this is negative, you know that if you integrate, if you differentiate minus l, it will give you minus 1. If you differentiate minus l dx, it will give you minus 1. So, if you differentiate minus u du, it will give you minus 1. So, if you differentiate minus u, it will give you minus 1. Use that minus 1 to times this. It will give you plus. If you differentiate minus u, it will give you minus 1. Use minus 1 to times it to give you minus place. Then I will be having 1 over bracket ln 1 plus u plus minus, because here has minus, that minus will multiply this to give you minus ln 1 minus u. So what do we now do? This will be giving you minus 1 over 2. Then from law of logarithm, you will be having 1 plus u, subtraction law, all over 1 minus u. Then ask yourself, what is your u? Your u is equal to cos x. So we now say this means minus 1 over 2 ln 1 plus, what is my u? Cos x, all over, what is my u again? Cos x. Then I will also say this means minus 1. This means minus 1 over 2 ln 1 plus cos x all over 1 minus cos x. I ask myself, what is conjugate of 1 minus cos x? Is to give me 1 plus cos x. It will give me 1 plus cos x all over 1 plus cos x. Okay, so what happened now is, I will now say, let's continue from up here. We now say, this will be giving you minus 1 over 2 ln what? This times this will give me 1 plus cos x, because there are 2 all squared, all over. This times this will give me 1 minus cos squared x. Okay? Now, note that sin squared x is equal to 1 minus cos squared x. So we use it to put here. We now have next step to be minus 1 over 2 bracket. This will be 1 plus cos x all squared, all over, remove this and put what? Sin squared x. Remember that sine square x simply means sine x all squared. Okay? You can see both of them have squared. Both of them have squared. I will now say, okay, that my next step will be minus 1 over 2 bracket ln. I bring out the power of 2 they have in common. I say 1 plus cos x all over sine x. Both have power of 2. Now, the next thing I will do finally is that I will leave this minus and carry 1 over 2 to the other power. I will carry 1 over 2 to the power. I will say minus bracket ln 1 plus cos x all over sine x all raised to the power of 2 times 1 over 2. Because the power of the 1 over 2 has gone to the power, as the law of logarithm tells us. This will cancel this. That will be giving me minus ln 1. This means 1 over sine x, 1 over sine x plus cos x over sine x. Okay? So, our final answer will now be, we say our final answer will now be, if you are asked to integrate cosec x dx, we say the answer is, you write minus, this minus must be there. So you now say ln, this ln must be there. We now say, okay, we want everything here to be positive. 1 over sine x is cosec x plus cos x over sine x is cot x. Once you finish writing, you say plus c. Why are we writing plus c? That is because it does not have upper and lower limit. So this is your answer to integration of cosec x dx. See the next video so that you see how to integrate log x dx. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to click like button and subscribe as you watch it. Thank you.